Hello, everyone. Welcome to Awaken Your Freedom Show. Please subscribe to support our growing community. It really helps. So today we're doing a deep dive into, well, a blueprint for real self-mastery.
Right.
We're going to move past all that surface-level motivational
I
chatter
feel good stuff, yeah.
and really get into the rugged, almost stoic approach laid out in William M. James's 2024 book, Forge Your Inner Strength.
And that's a crucial distinction to make right away.
Yeah.
James, he's not writing self-help in the way we usually think of it. It's more of a manual.
A manual for building mental armor.
Exactly. He calls his approach steel and fire. It's designed to apply precise, controlled pressure to you. The whole mission here isn't just to feel good.
No.
It's to make you genuinely unshakable. We're looking at a system designed to literally manufacture resilience.
And the central idea, the absolute foundation of this whole thing, is clear right from the jump. Inner strength is not some trait you're born with. It's a product, something you build.
And that building process has to be deliberate. It has to be daily. And this is the critical part. It has to happen under resistance.
It's like a constant constructive force against our natural pull towards comfort.
That's it. That friction is where the strength is actually forged.
Okay, so let's unpack this. The first principle James lays out is maybe the most counterintuitive for our world today. Core principle 1. The strength you're looking for is hidden in discomfort.
Yeah, and we live in a society that's engineered to remove every single point of friction,
Right.
which he calls the silent erosion of resilience. It leads to what he calls a fragile mind.
A fragile mind.
Because if you never have to tolerate anything even slightly unpleasant, a short wait, a room that's a little too warm, anything, your internal coping mechanisms just, well, atrophy.
So he says we have to intentionally seek out this resistance training for the mind. We're not talking about anything extreme here.
No, not at all. It's the practice of micro-adversity. It's about forcing grit, but on these very small scales.
Like what are some examples?
Well, a short cold shower. It's just momentary discomfort, right? But the payoff isn't just physical. It's psychological. You're training your nervous system to handle a little stress without freaking out.
So you're teaching yourself that, this feeling is survivable and that you're in charge, not your impulse for comfort.
Exactly. But how does this avoid just becoming another kind of, psychological strain, given all the talk about burnout these days?
That's a great question, and James is very clear on this. He's not talking about chronic, sustained stress. That's what leads to burnout.
Okay.
He's advocating for intentional, acute stress. It's like lifting weights. You stress the muscle, and you let it recover and grow stronger. It's a very surgical strike against that fragility.
And the ultimate version of this is what he talks about with Navy SEAL Hell Week. The ones who make it through aren't always the biggest, strongest guys.
Not at all.
They're the ones who've mastered embracing discomfort. They just refuse to negotiate with pain. Their mind adapts and creates a whole new, higher baseline for what they can handle.
The physical part almost becomes secondary at that point.
It really does. Which leads us perfectly into his second principle.
Control what you can, release what you can't.
It has those deep stoic roots, but James reframes it as a power move in today's world of just constant information overload.
How so? A power move?
Well, he says inner peace isn't passive. It's an active decision about where you allocate your resources. We waste just a monumental amount of mental and emotional energy fighting things completely outside our control.
And that wasted energy, that's the key. You have to reclaim that energy if you want to be unstoppable in the areas that actually matter.
Precisely. Think about the cognitive load. James says every time you worry about something you can't control, the stock market, referee's call, politics, you're burning mental bandwidth.
Bandwidth you could be using elsewhere.
Right. So by actively identifying and just mentally discarding those variables, you free up all this fuel to pour into flawless execution.
The examples he uses really make this click, like a pro quarterback. They can't waste a single second thinking about a bad call from the ref or the crowd noise. Their entire focus is on their form, their next read, their task. They control their domain.
Or the entrepreneur. They have to accept that the market is uncertain. It's a given. But they obsess over what they can control.
Product quality, customer service, their own execution.
Exactly. And the most visceral example is the firefighter. In the middle of pure chaos, surrounded by flames, what do they train to control?
Their breathing. Just their breathing.
That's pure self-command. It's the anchor that stops the outside world from collapsing your internal effectiveness. Self-command is the first step to self-mastery.
So once that's established, we move to the foundation, which is discipline. Principle 3 completely flips the script on how we see discipline. It's not punishment.
No, he argues it's the ultimate liberation.
Liberation. Most people feel the exact opposite.
I know, but in his view, the undisciplined person is actually a slave. A slave to their impulses, right?
Yeah.
Seeking pleasure, avoiding difficulty, reacting to every little thing. So true freedom is liberation from that internal chaos. Freedom from the fear of failure, because your life doesn't feel so random anymore.
I want to push on that a little because what about hustle culture? If discipline means all these rituals, aren't you just trading slavery to pleasure for, say, slavery to a rigid work schedule?
That's a fair question, and he addresses it by focusing on the purpose of the ritual. The goal isn't just rigidity for its own sake. The whole point is to reduce your cognitive load.
To reduce the number of decisions you have to make.
Yes. Think of his example, the single mother building a business by waking up at 4:45 a.m. every day. Her success wasn't because she was gifted with some special motivation that morning.
It was because she was governed by a non-negotiable ritual. She didn't have to decide.
She didn't have to decide. The key insight here is that discipline actually creates energy. Every little choice you take off the table, when to work out, what to eat, when to start the hard task, it saves you mental energy.
Which brings us to principle 4, and this might be the deepest psychological shift in the book.
The source code.
Your identity is the source code of strength. He says you don't rise to your goals, you rise to your identity.
This is core identity-based psychology. Goals are about the outcome, but identity is about who you are. If you want to change what you do, you first have to rewrite who you believe you are.
So it's the difference between I want to be a writer and I am a writer.
Precisely. The famous example he uses is the smoker who failed to quit 12 times.
I remember this.
He finally succeeded when he stopped saying, "I'm trying to quit," which implies a struggle, and started declaring, "I'm not a smoker."
That is a completely different command to your brain. It's a done deal, a non-negotiable fact.
And once that identity shifts, your actions just automatically report to the new captain. If your identity is, "I am a financially disciplined person," then saving money stops being a battle of willpower. It just becomes who you are.
It bypasses the need for willpower entirely. Okay, so if identity is the commander, principle 5 says you have to protect the command center.
Protect your mental fortress. This is about your mental immune system.
And he's very specific. It's not just about positive thinking.
No, it's about ruthlessly guarding 5 areas.
Oh.
Your environment, your inputs like news and media, your digital habits, your relationships, and your inner dialogue.
He uses that metaphor, no king leaves the gates open to invaders. Why do you let negativity walk straight into your mind?
It's so good, because allowing toxic inputs is fundamentally dangerous to the fortress you're trying to build. This is why high performers, CEOs, athletes, soldiers are so deliberate about curating their environment.
It's not about being fragile. It's about recognizing that your mental state is your single greatest asset.
Your mind becomes what you feed it. Feed it chaos, you get chaos. It's just preventative mental hygiene.
And all of this culminates in the final piece, principle 6. Purpose creates power. All that strength, all that discipline, it needs a direction.
Absolutely. Strength without direction is just, well, aimless energy. Purpose is the great multiplier. It changes your relationship with suffering. When your why is big enough, obstacles aren't roadblocks anymore.
They become stepping stones.
They become part of the path. This links right back to principle 1. Discomfort embraced for a purpose is endurance. Discomfort without a purpose is just pain.
And the emotional example he shares, it just brings it all home. The man who survived a horrific accident.
Yeah, and he endured years of just excruciating physical therapy, not because he was a masochist. He did it because he had one singular massive goal.
Walk his daughter down the aisle.
That purpose was the engine. It fueled him past every single perceived limit he had.
The final insight there is so profound. When your why becomes big enough, the limits you thought were concrete they become irrelevant.
That's when your strength is multiplied. It's driven by something bigger than just your daily comfort.
So if we pull it all together, James's ultimate message is what? That inner strength isn't an accident. It's not a genetic gift.
It's a craft. It's a product. Forged by consistency. It's matured by discomfort, liberated by discipline, fueled by a powerful purpose, and protected by the boundaries you set.
And he leaves everyone with this one provocative challenge, a way to apply all 6 principles immediately. He says, every day, do something that makes your future self respect you.
That's the whole blueprint in one question, isn't it? Just think about that for a second. How much could your life change in the next 365 days if you just committed to one small act every day?
One moment of discomfort, one ritual, one decision to protect your focus.
That's the path. That's how you become truly unshakable.
To close, please don't forget to subscribe on your favorite platform, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, or Spotify to stay sharp and never miss a drop of knowledge that could change your financial life. Thank you.